With Dr. Bronson Pinchot after this.
It is now 16 minutes after 8. Bronson Pinchot is probably best known to audience as the art gallery clerk in the movie Beverly Hills Cop, and of course is the wide-eyed Balky in the ABC comedy series Perfect Strangers with Marc Lynn-Baker, now seen on Friday nights. But today he's a Good Morning America special correspondent with a report on a class where students learn how to be funny. And Bronson Pinchot joins us this morning from our studios in Los Angeles. And good morning, Bronson. Good to have you back with us.
Good morning.
Before we get to this comedy class, I just have to ask you, I just said the show, Perfect Strangers, moved to Friday nights. How do you feel about that? How does an audience react to that?
Well, I can answer both those questions a little easier than I could last time I did an interview 2 weeks ago, because we've been on for 2 weeks, and both times we've won the time slots. So, of course, it's easy to be magnanimous and say it's just the greatest thing in the world, and the audience responds well. If it was something else, I think I'd have to make up a diplomatic answer, but it's fine.
Was it a little scary, though, being moved around like that when you've already got success? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think TV is very Pavlovian, and you salivate, when the bell rings, and they change the bell. So we were hoping everyone would still salivate.
Okay, you went out to this comedy class, and we're going to take a look right now at a piece of tape, and then we'll come back and talk about it, about Bronson Pinchot's trip to school.
Make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh?
Humor. For thousands of years, it's helped the human race survive. No one knows exactly when the first cave dweller uttered the immortal words. Did you ever hear the one about... In fact, no one really knows whether being funny is something you're born with or a skill you can acquire, like rolfing or synchronized swimming. I'm at Ohio University, and if writing jokes is something you can learn in school, then this is the place to come.
All right, tell me, do you feel funny tonight? Yeah!
For the last 8 years, Professor Melvin Helitzer has been teaching the nation's first college-accredited course in humor. It's called Humor Writing for Fun and Profit.
What if this were not a bucket? What else could it possibly be?
It's a shot glass for Dean Martin.
It's a cork for Joan Rivers' mouth.
It's Mr. Ed's favorite restaurant.
Contested community property from Jack and Jill's divorce.
The material must fit the performer, and the material must make the audience feel superior.
Professor Helitzer, who spent 30 years in advertising and who's written for comics and politicians, teaches his students all the aspects of joke writing: timing, surprise, irreverence.
Do you know why we have this map theory in the form of a triangle?
Because you can't draw a circle.
We call it the 3 R's of humor. With humor, you get respect, your words are remembered, and it's very rewarding.
In elementary school, I was the kid that always sat in the corner and ate paste. Well, that was until my mom stopped packing my lunch.
After a few weeks, Helitzer's students start delivering their own stand-up material and are critiqued by classmates.
I thought it was great material, and the delivery was excellent, except a little bit too fast. Maybe just slow down the delivery, but otherwise, excellent.
Many of the students aspire to careers in advertising or entertainment. Troy Hammond, who's blind, wants to be a stand-up comic.
Have you seen the sign at the post office? No dogs allowed except seeing-eye dogs? Who's gonna read this? I can't. Dog's not telling.
Troy, I really think you need to make better eye contact with the audience.
When we laugh, air comes out at 70 miles an hour, so it's better if you open your mouth to laugh or it comes out somewhere else's gas.
I want you to help me with something. Whenever I sit down to do an interview, one of the things that they always ask is, Bronson, don't you think that you're going to be typecast forever as a sitcom actor? What do I respond?
Well, just tell them the truth the next time they ask you about being typecast as a sitcom actor. Tell them you're planning to have a sex change operation. Listen, everybody. Are we going to be funny tonight?
The class final exam is a big event on campus. Professor Helitzer's students must perform their material before a boisterous, standing-room-only crowd at the campus pub. Part of their grade depends on audience response.
Polite applause is a C, enthusiastic applause is a B. If they get a standing ovation, that's an A. But if they throw fruit, it's an F. Unless the fruit is edible, then we mark it up to a D.
You know, on our honeymoon, my husband said he wanted to play Star Trek. He said he wanted to boldly go where no man had gone before. So I sent him to a Tupperware party.
The embarrassing thing was one time I went to meet her family, and I got to her house. The door opened, her mother invited me in, her dad came into the living room and said, "Honey, she didn't say he was B-L-I-N-D.
Some guys think it's necessary to put on enough cologne not only so their date notices it, but also to kill every living insect within a 5-mile radius.
With the problems in funding education today, some might call a class in humor writing a bit frivolous. But Professor Hellitzer believes comedy serves a purpose beyond just getting folks to laugh.
I really think that comedy is the best way of coping with life, because we're surrounded with hypocrisy, and the only ones who are telling us the truth these days are the humorists.
Snail in a fish tank.
Gee, Bronson, did that remind you of your days at Yale? No.
No.
But did you find that they really could learn how to kind of think funny?
I didn't see the students before they got up. You know, I just saw the final exam where they were already quite funny. So I didn't see how far they came. But as laymen go, I mean, they were extremely funny. So they must have come from somewhere.
You bet. Bronson, thank you very much for that report. And we'll be